Good morning, guys. It's me, Melik again. So today's lecture I prepared, we'll talk about typical mistakes in endgames. And actually, I picked a very interesting game between two Holland players, Bolland and former world champion Max Avey. And today's game will show some typical mistakes, what not to do, or let's say what to do in endgames. And first example, like I said, it's going to be about Rook endgames. Well, the situation we had here, we can see it's white turn. So what shall white do here? What do you think? What we have to know about Rook endgames, a couple of things. Let's say when trying to promote pawn to the queen, what we have to know is to keep black rook away from our pawn and at least try to have a less than 3 file difference between a rook and our pawn. Typically, defensive rook is supposed to work from the sides to attack, to bother the king and the pawn, and the black king must stay on the short side. Which side is supposed to be called short? It's very simple to understand. Side is supposed to be called short from the pawn to the closest corner. That means, let's say, if pawn on e file, the closest corner will be h file, since we have 3 files on the right side and 4 files on the left side. That means a king is supposed to stay on the short side and a rook is supposed to stay on the long side. Okay, in this position, white made typical mistake by playing king d7. Which mistake because originally white supposed to play here a rook a2. That's the move supposed to be done here. And that's how white made it very typical mistakes, because they thought they would play king d7 to still support their pawn to be promoted. But not playing rook a2 pretty much cost them a game. I mean, not a game, full game, cost them, let's say, half point. Because they, instead of to win a game, they actually do the game. But rook a2, I would like actually to pay some attention here, because again, even after rook a2, not many players, know what to do. Okay, so rook b3, check. Let's go with this line. Again, usually black must stay on the sides and must try to use shouldering to keep white king or being too aggressive. So as defensive side, you can't really go, let's say, king fa, because this will give away the back rank immediately, and after this there is no more competition, because it's simply win for white pretty much, because white controls 8 rank. By the way, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. It's also for offensive side. It's also important to control back rank to support e8 square for the pawn. So that's why losing another back rank, pretty much it's over for black hopes here. So black must play king g6, king e7. Again, you can't really play e6 here. You know what's funny things here? Even at Rook endgames, it's really important for you guys to understand how important to keep your king in front of your pawn. It's like, should remind you some situation from pawn endgames. That's why the only move here is king e7, not e6, because e6 it's actually almost, it's a draw, because after king f6, check here, when you're trying to, let's say, support, control the back rank and support your pawn, then we have a check here, we have a check, and we have rook a7. Right on time, black was able to put the rook on the a file, on a7, and now we have a 3 file difference between rook and pawn. Pawn stopped, and there is no way you can promote your pawn. So this is basically simple draw. So that means you gotta be still careful in the situation and not to play e6 here. Again, so we have rook a7 check, king g6, and we have here move king e7. Okay, so king e7 is moved, is a very important move here. So since white control the 7th rank, there is no checks, and Basically, they're trying to simply promote the pawn. The only move from white side is to, from black side to play Rook B8 to control the 8th rank, E6 and King D7. Yeah, that's actually the position which I would like to talk, because I mean, according my my searches, I had this position with my many students, many of my students. And in fact, I had this position at my many lectures, and I find out not many players, not most of them, knowing this position. Some of them, even being almost masters, all masters, they actually don't know what to do here, how to, let's say, win this position with white's turn. So let me try to explain to you what shall we do here, okay? What's going on? We can't really play here Rook A1 with famous idea to build a bridge by threatening Rook G1 check, because if you do that straight right here, then after check, Rook B7 check, you have to do, let's say, I don't know, Rook King D8, try to get your 8th rank pretty much. That's the kind of logical move here. And Rook B8 check, Rook B2. In this situation, when you're trying to use your rook by, let's say, playing Rook F1 and cutting the king, and looks like you succeed, then still Rook A2, still getting a file, still putting your rook in position to have a 3 file difference between your rook and the white pawn, gives black a draw, because king controls very important square F8, and let's say in case of E7, we're still having check. And let's say if white king goes too far away from the pawn, then black simply goes back on A8, defending E8 square and controlling F8 square with 2 pieces. That means there is no Rook F8 move, and it's simple a draw. So you can't really play straightforward Rook A1, as you understood. But if you look at this position, and if you ask some question, let's say, what would be here if I would be able to transpose the move to black? Then it's actually a simple win, if you figure out, because let's say in case of Rook C8, then we will have Rook A1 check, and distance between black rook and white king too short, and there is no checks by 7th rank. So the way how we're going to transpose the move to black, it's well known, but it's the only way, and you simply must memorize. So what's going on here again? So you can't play here King D7 because King F6, and this is draw. So there's no improvement here. Okay, that means the only way pretty much here is to play King D6 check. Why the only way? Now, if black will go King F6, which is, I believe, one of the best tries, then we're going to play King D7. Now, the rook cannot leave 8th rank because E7 wins the game spot. The rook cannot go on, let's say, G file or H file, because the rook would be on the short side with the king. It's not smart. No checks from the side, and it's over also. Let's say, I don't know, so here, simply Rook A1, game is over. So rook always must be on the long side. So King D7, the only move is King G7, and now we have King E7. So what we did at Rook Endgames, we actually described triangle. So you see how endgames sometimes connected. In the Rook endgames, we use the idea from pawn endgames by describing a triangle, and we gave away the tempo, the move to the black, and we actually got the position, the same position with reversed turn. So now what? Now what's going on? Again, let's see the variations here. If black goes, for instance, Rook B1, trying to keep the rook flexible, then immediately goes, and then immediately decided is Rook A8. So again, at this kind of endgames, at this type of endgames, you cannot lose control of your 8th rank. It's really important for the defensive side to control the 8th rank. See, Rook A8 pretty much winning the game because, again, the best try, for instance, Rook B7 check. And after rook b7 check, we'll do king d6. And now, if king f6, we have simply rook f8 check followed by e7. Game is over. The best try again. Check, check. Again, the best try rook e7. And finally, we win the game because e7 wins the game. So after rook a8, pretty much the game is really over. That means black cannot play rook b1. And the best try for them to keep the rook on the 8th file, the 8th rank, and keep them there and play king d6. And now we have positions which is, some people would say, well, there's no difference between having black king on g7 or g6. So what's the difference? But in fact, it's a huge difference because after rook a1, or rook b7 check, either king d8 or king d6 is winning here. I would prefer to play still more accurate king d8. Now, what's going on if black goes, let's say king f6? That's the reason why I said it's more accurate to have your king on d8, because here we have e7. Now, obviously, you can't take on e7 because check from f1. We must do rook b8 check. The only move again to play rook e8. We can't take the pawn because we have a check and win the rook. So again, the only move to go rook b8 check. And finally, we have this king c7. And the last shot, the last move, again, people must simply memorize here. It's rook a1. That's the reason with white turn, white wins, because the rook has no squares. And we kick the rook from the last third line, and that's it. Game is over. If you take the rook, I promote my queen. If you go back on e8, I play king d7, I'll win the game. So that's the situation here. That means we can't play king f6 on move 9. We have to go back here again. Actually, on move 6. So let me go back here again. So king e6 check. E6, king g7, king d6 check, king f6. We have here. Okay. So e6, king d6 right here. King g7. All right. Again, I'm just going to repeat the same line again, just making sure I'm not anything here. Okay, so king g6, and we have here, our turn, we have here king g6, rook a1. So we analyzed situation with king d8, again, king d8. And the only move, rook b8 check. The best try, at least. And that's the difference between having the black king on g7 and black king on g6. So again, with black king on g6, this position, it's nothing for white. With black king on g7, on g6, it's simply win because of move rook e1. And now, black not controlling f8 square. And in case of, let's say, if you try to get back and get a third line, third rank, and by playing rook a2, then e7 simply wins. And after rook e1, game is over. Okay, so whatever black do, they simply lost. Let's say rook a2, we have e7, and that's it. We promote the rook. Again, so what we have to learn here, couple things in the situations. It's really important for you to understand position after. If you will go back here, yeah, that's the key maneuver we simply must understand. So e6, king d7, king d6 check. That's the moment here after when we made move 5. It's really important how we transpose the move. King d6 check, king f6 again, and king d7. That's the way only to win a game. Putting black in a zugzwang. We can't really move the rook from the 8th rank. We're forcing black to go back on say, g7. And then after king e7, we give away the move. We get the same position with black's turn. And now they have to do king g7, king g6, which again, completely different situation between having king on g7 or g6. And since king goes on g6, then we can simply leave the rook from 7th rank by playing rook a1. And now attack from side again doesn't work. I suggest here to play king d8 to avoid kind of king f6 situation. And after king c7, rook b2, we have rook e1 winning the game because black king had no access to get on f8. That's the difference. And now let's see what's happening in a game between these two grandmasters. How white made a mistake and actually lost the chance to win a game. So in a game actually happened, king d7, and after you meet the rook a3, now we know how important to get the rook on the a file. White has no win because after rook c2, rook a5, check. Important part here, we're controlling this 8 rank. It's really important. Rook e8, and now pretty much white has no progress. If they play e7, then after king f7, we control e8 square, and there's nothing going on. As soon as you will leave your rook from 7th rank, I will check you from a7. So in the game, white tried to play again rook c1. They tried to play king d8 here, but here we have a check from a8, and that's immediately draw because white has no progress. Okay, rook e8 check, and that's it. So again, what do we learn here? We learn how important to control the a file, how important for the defensive side to be to have a difference between the rook and the white pawn as a 3 files. And also we learn from, let's say, offensive side, from the stronger side, how important to actually control the A file, okay? So it's really important, and most important part here, we'll learn how to give away the move, how to transpose the move to black side and get the same position with reverse turn, and how to win that particular position. So I hope you like it, and I hope you figured out that stuff, and you will try to use by yourself and in your future games. Thanks and have a good day.